because of the seasonality and in alignment of COT reports and probability. So I remember let's go through the NZD first. I remember I did the analysis on the NZD, which I said, we should go in on the 11th and exit on Friday, right? And we were expecting the asset to go up because we're expecting USD to lose some strength, which did happen. So we had that, move to the upside, then we had that come back to come raid everybody that got in. But if if you're confident with the position you got in, you should be fine and still end up with 42 pips profit, ideally, in this type of asset. So this is, this checks out as, being a pass. So it's a small chunk of profit, but nevertheless profit, so 42 pips that's received. And I hope anybody didn't have any issues with this or anybody didn't lose in this. And if you did lose in this, I suppose, I presume it's most likely going to be on this day right here, which price came back down just to, to get people shaking a little bit to confirm if you're really sure of the position you're going in. So if you had went in on the 11th, somewhere around there, and when price comes back down, to the support region right here, you should be fine. So far it doesn't go below, let's say your stop loss was here, for example, you should have been totally okay. So that's that one, right? Is there any questions in regards to NZD USD? Anything anybody want to ask me in regards to that before I jump into gold? No? Okay. If you have a question, just type it up if you want, or you can unmute yourself, just say what you want to say, and then we can go through it. Now, the next one that we went into was gold, right? I remember we were speaking about it and we were quite not sure in regards to the dates. And I remember me saying, it's kind of unstable and things doesn't really look that great in terms of entry dates, because we do have the dates that it looks like it's going to pull back. But I was speaking to someone last week, and then they said they noticed a correlation between the USD and gold, and then CAD as well. And no, NZD USD, you're meant to be out of that already. You don't need to hold that anymore. Exit date was Friday. Yeah. So and we decided, right? We decided, since gold and USD does kind of the inverse, right? We decided that the ideal entry date would be Wednesday, I think, which was Wednesday should be 11th, I think. I think we agreed it should have been 11th, somewhere around here, that our entry would be. But nevertheless, we should expect some pullback, and then the final entry would be like on the 14th, so which was a Saturday. And what happened in gold is we had a mini crash in gold, so on Monday and Tuesday, we had that crash in gold. We had that long down in gold, and we're not meant to be in the market anyway at that date. So, you'd be perfectly safe. You could have used that for entry, but it wasn't necessary. And then on Tuesday, we had that kind of a spinning top candle, and does that. And then on Wednesday, price started moving exactly as predicted. We expect a little bit of pullback on Thursday, which didn't do that much, but Friday price continued in its direction, right? So if you had gone in on Wednesday, let's say you found an entry somewhere on Wednesday, you probably have profited around 521 pips so far, or even if you got it somewhere around here, you probably still have about 400 pips so far, which in addition with the 400 with the 40 something there, at least 440 or 590 or 600 pips, depending on whatever. No, 550, depending on whichever you get it. So I hope anybody didn't have troubles with gold. Did anybody have troubles with gold? Was there anybody struggling with gold? Did anybody have any struggles, or did you end up losing money on the trade? Please feel free to share. If you felt like you didn't understand something on the last week's webinar, or something went wrong, terribly wrong in gold. It's always good to learn from experience. So if you speak out about your experience, we can then discuss about ways in which we can improve and benefit the next trade. So for the guys that wanted to go in, for the new guys that wanted to go in, for example, and we're not quite sure about the, yeah, we would have opportunities to get in on gold. Yes, there would be. So for the new guys, I wanted to, trade gold, and I specifically said it on that day that if you want to really trade gold and you're very new to it, you should wait for gold to cross over on the EMA. So, which when you look at it from this time frame, let's say 15 minutes time frame, throughout the Monday, you can see the price never crossed the 200, never really crossed the 200. It was played between the 20 and 50. But once price crossed it, remember I said once price crossed it, if you have a support region and if you get an entry signal from your indicator, then you can go in. So you get that support region, give you a buy. Price came back to retest that support just exactly as I spoke about last week. Then you should look for your entry. And if you had done that, you would probably be perfectly fine, because if you had got it from your support region right here to here, you probably have benefited 399 pips, almost 400 pips from this. So for the new guys that didn't understand how to trade it, if you follow the instructions that way, you'll be perfectly fine. You could have got it right here. I mean, you could have got it right here too, but it would have been a little bit tricky, depending on which indicator you're using. Here could have been tricky. Right here will be perfectly fine. Right here, it's okay. Right here is okay. I mean, ideally, since price crossed over, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 opportunities to have gone in on gold. So there were 7 opportunities right here based on the indicator that I use anyway. I mean, you'll use different ones that will give you different entry points, but I presume you should have at least an ideal good chunk of entry with that. So yeah, but if you missed it, it's still okay. What we will do is this week we'll check on the analysis this week. So before I even do anything in regards to continue checking, I want to see what the COT is saying this time around. Let's see what the COT is saying in regards to gold. If we're gonna have that maybe another golden opportunity to go into the asset this time around. All right. So now looking at the COT, what we can see is this. The non-commercial guys are putting in short position. They're expecting gold to go down, right? Which is good for us because they give us the liquidity that we need. So just a little bit of them going long. Then the commercials, I put 3,000 new positions into the long, but taking 32,000 away from their shorts. Last week, they were more short than long, but this time around, they took a very massive chunk away from their shorts, putting more position in their long. And ideally, if we look at this, exactly, this is what I wanted to see. This has given us the confirmation that we need, right? Remember, anytime you see gold bump up, price follows not too long after. Bump up, price follows up, price follows a little bit. Now we have that up move. What's going to happen? Price is most likely going to follow, right? We have that massive chunk. Price is most likely going to follow to the upside. So, which is good for us because this around this time is beautiful because it's also in alignment with the seasonality. So that's good. So what we can then do is we can look for the dates. So this is the 15th, right, today. So according to the seasonality chart, the 15th, which is today, will be the ideal point to go in, But we know today's a Sunday. Price is going to open anyway today. I wouldn't recommend jumping in specifically today because of price is open. Price needs to settle. It might come down and raid some people. But to get a more refined date in regards to entry, let's check on probabilities and see which exact date might be ideal in terms of entry for us. Now, keep in mind, guys, I keep saying, focusing on 1 or 2 trades is best. We don't want to focus too much on too many trades. So I've tried to keep it as simple as possible and focus on those trades. And I presume you guys would have enough time to analyze a specific trade or carry on your normal day-to-day activities without any sort of disturbance from the trades, right? So now in August, based on the probability, right, what we're seeing is today the market is meant to open, which seasonality is showing us that we should go in. So seasonality gives us, today 15, then 16, then 17th, then 18th. So we probably have almost the entire week, right, to decide up until the 20th, right? So we have almost the entire week to find a way to jump into gold. Now, gold might have a pullback, right? You know, see this pullback right there. I mean, it's practically obvious that what's going to happen is gold is going to get back to where it did before, then have that pullback. So ideally, what we have to that pullback coming is about 554 pips before we see another pullback. This pullback expected. So what we want to take now is just that 550 pips or 555 pips, whatever it is. You know, right? We want to take some of that pips that is about to come, because COT has confirmed that to us. The probability has confirmed that price is going to go up, but not a specific date. The seasonality confirmed that this entire week is going to be good. So the only challenge now that we have is the probability, because the probability is actually giving us a 64% chance on the sell on the Monday. And then we have a 50-50, then we have a 50-50, then 71-79, right? So for the new guys, you're very new and you don't trade, I wouldn't even recommend trading up until Thursday or Friday. So for the new guys, you don't even want to touch this till Thursday and Friday if you don't know what you're doing specifically, right? So if I'm not mistaken, Thursday and Friday, so 19th right here, there's a much more alignment. So you're going for that small jump, right? You're going from that small jump, which on all years it aligned perfectly. So you want to go for that small jump. And for the guys that are more experienced, you know, we can maybe risk it from Tuesday or Wednesday. There's a possibility of us taking the risk from Tuesday or Wednesday. But keep in mind, because this is probability doesn't really give us anything. It's a 50-50 chance. So right now, the trade is actually on an high risk level. It's literally on high risk. Apologies, guys. So, based on this one, we have 16th is definitely kind of like a no-go. 17th and 18th is a 50-50 chance, right? We have a 50-50 chance in between of price going in our direction, right? And if you're experienced, you can then use your indicators to find an ideal entry. I mean, just looking at this alone, from what I'm seeing anyway, you know, from just the probability, looking at probability and looking at the charts, we've seen price about to hit the 20 EMA. So what most likely what we're going to see is tomorrow, we'll see price kicking it a little bit, then pulling back, trying to rate some of the people out. We might see price come to around the section right here or right here, you know, before price then continue taking off. So everybody that got in on Friday, price might try to rate them all out. So I wouldn't ever recommend trying to go into go until price gets to this region or this region right here. Now, my initial analysis from a long time ago, which is this green line, which I've left there, is basically initially I was expecting gold to get here, but it actually got down here, which is sweeter. But the good part is it never caught us off guard, in which we're not trading on these days. So this green line can now leave this chart. I try to leave everything there for you guys so you can see as the analysis goes along. But then it leaves this space right here. I can't even remember the last time. I mean, this is the bottom of this, and then this is the indicator given this section. So which then leaves this zone could be our new entry zone right here. So right here could be our new entry zone. So you want to wait for gold to dip a little bit, because of look at the William. The William is showing a dip is coming. See when William showed the spike is coming, not like the big spike is coming. Look what happened next. Price went up. Now the dip is coming. I don't want to ignore that dip. Most likely that dip is going to hit because of the EMAs is against it. So once price get back somewhere around here, then we trade. So to be on the safe side, you want to trade gold. So you want to trade gold, right? Gold is safest on Thursday, Friday. Right. So your safest entry is actually Thursday, when you have that full alignment from the COT, the seasonality, and the probability, right? But we don't have the William yet. But ideally, what we want to see is once price start pulling down, we should probably see William shooting back up. So that should give us a very good alignment, right? So go to safest on Thursday and Friday. For more experienced guys, you can start looking. You can start looking between Tuesday and Wednesday. don't trade, but if you see an opportunity on Tuesday and Wednesday, you can trade it, right? That's the ideal spot right now in regards to gold. So, yeah. So what I would recommend is, I mean, we've just highlighted a new spot right here. So based on the daily chart, what we can see now is we can see that price is about to hit the 20. So what we're gonna see is price coming somewhere down here. And if you look at the 4 hours chart, what we can see, okay, is price is actually trying to get to the 200 EMA, but price is also gonna try to get back to the 20 EMA, right? Right here. So what's gonna happen is most likely we're gonna see price on Monday or Tuesday, or maybe even Wednesday, price might dip to the 20 EMA right here, or price might actually run up, kick that, and run back down. So there's two scenarios. Price could ideally run up, then run back down, or price could just shuttle back down straight, then run back up later, right? So I don't know which one it's gonna do. I have to be honest with you, because just looking at this alone, the probability alone is giving me the best day to be Thursday and Friday. But I want to start looking at the market between Tuesday and Wednesday. So whichever one the market is doing, let's say, for example, if the price is going up, I would chill and I wouldn't do anything on Tuesday. If price is still up by Wednesday, I would not do anything. Then, on Thursday, I would then look for the entry. Or if price actually comes, what's it called? Down, start coming down by Tuesday and Wednesday, I would most likely get my entry around here, just around the support region right here, the minimum part of the distance, of the chart. Apologies. So that would be my own consensus on gold. Is there any questions in regards to gold? Is there anything that you need to ask that it's not clear enough in regards to gold? Please, it's best to ask these questions now, because sometimes during the week I might not be available to answer those questions for you. And even to just break it even down a little bit further for the new guys, remember the rule: you want price to cross over all three EMAs first, then price to have a support region, then price should give you an entry in regards to your indicators. Only then you should go in. Because looking at this on a 15 minutes time frame, you can see price is most likely going to pull back down to this green zone anyway. But I'm expecting price to actually want to breach the 200 EMA. It tried it right here, it didn't breach it, but what it did was it made a long tail. So what I could expect is price could actually make another tail and come somewhere around here, or even breach it this time around and come somewhere around, around here between these two zones, for me to say, okay, this is a good entry point, right? On the 15-minute, it looks great. We have the EMA supporting it. Let me actually draw out where the 200 EMA is. All right. Now I'm just going to make that slightly thicker. All right. Yeah, just going to make that black. So at that spot, that's where it is on the 15 minutes. Let's see 30 minutes. So 30 minutes is slightly below right here. I want to see on which time frame they're actually around the same spot. So on the 30 minutes, right, what I can see is 200 EMAs at the black spot right here. And then on the 1 hour, what you can see is 50 EMAs right there at that same spot right there. And then let's check 4 hours. If we have something there on the 4 hours, then we have the 20 there on the 4 hours. So on the 30 minutes, 1 hour, and 4 hours, we have something right here. So price is most likely going to face this biggest resistance when it's coming down right here, which is also the support region right here. So that could be an early entry spot. But I want to be a little bit more patient, because that's still a wide gap from where I would like to enter, which is 59 pips away. So I want to stay around here, look for ideal entry. If price doesn't kind of reject that much around here, or if price consolidates, I would wait. If price rejects and seems to be going away, and prices above the EMAs as usual, and I'm getting indication to go up, then I can go into that. But if price seems to just consolidate around that region, you have to wait a little bit to know if it's consolidating or not. Now you can check down on 15-minute time frame. If price seems to consolidate, then what you do is you wait for price to break it. Price is most likely going to break it, comes down somewhere around here, then buy. Okay, so that literally sums it up for gold. Literally. So is there any question? This is the ideal region to look for any entry. So no need to touch it until price gets there. Right. Is there any questions in regards to that? All right. So no. Um, so let me see. Let's see if we can find any other assets to move. Actually, I want to see what USD is saying on that day. What we can see here is that actually USD is also going to bottom out on the 18th, right? So on the 18th would be Wednesday. So even just from looking at last week's probability and what happened, so most likely entry is actually going to be on Wednesday. So most likely high risk entry will be Wednesday. Right. So this is still medium risk. So medium risk is on Thursday and Friday because of we don't have the Williams yet. Okay. So if you want to go in for the high risk entry, you can go in on Wednesday. If you want to go for medium risk, you can go in on Thursday or Friday to buy gold. Okay. Right. Beautiful. So let's see if I can find any other assets in the meantime. Maybe just one more asset, just one more, nothing too much, just to focus on. Euro USD. I will check that in a second. I just want to see based on the based on the COT. Let me check Euro. Let's see. Okay, we have 14,000 at a new position into Euro and 17 shorts. So Euro is most likely going to get straight, and because we know dollar is meant to lose strength anyway, so what we're going to ideally see is what's it called? Dollar losing some strength. So wow, this COT report that I'm looking at right here looks good because it looks like price has been climbing, but we haven't seen the reaction, proper reaction here. So most likely we're gonna see a reaction. I mean, the last time price actually got stuck around this point, price climbed up, and it's got to that point around here, but we haven't seen that climb yet. We can see that price got stuck, literally consolidated for a little while in between these two candles, then try to kick up, but it didn't. So right here, we could see that kick. Now, keep in mind, Euro USD is a very highly manipulated asset. You know, they're most manipulated in the world. So you have to be very careful on this one when you're going in, because they're going to have some wicks and try to kick you out and all of that stuff. You just have to stand your ground. So let's see what Euro is saying in regards to. So on the 14th, which was yesterday, Euro is meant to kick off, but we could see Euro kicking off on the 18th, which is also Wednesday. Oh, that's beautiful. So Wednesday right here, we can see the Euro kicking off, and that same Wednesday, we can see gold kicking back down. So they're doing the inverse. And in addition to that, we have the Euro going up on the COT report. Let's see if we can get a USD COT report. If I see a down in the USD COT report, then that means Euro is also a good pair. Okay, we have a small percentage of down. These guys are going long. For the fact that these guys are going long, this gives me more peace of mind. I like that. These guys are going down. We can't see that much right here. You know? Doesn't really look good, but yeah, we had that down right here not too long that happened. So we've been having that down so far, but we haven't seen a reaction yet. But what we're looking at is different from the normal charts on the this thing. We're looking at the futures price right here. So what's going to happen is, let's look at Euro USD. But before we even do that, let's check the probabilities first. Because if the probabilities gives us something very good, all right, it gives us something very good, then we might actually have something to capitalize on. And guys, to be quite frank, you guys, in order to do the analysis, proper analysis, and spend your time, you need the tools. So if you want to get the tool, go to the website, you know, and go to the business.dmempire.co.uk/pricing, and you should be able to get the tools membership so you can have access to these tools. It's much safer, you know. rather than waiting to the end of the week for me to do the analysis. So on the 18th, what we can see is on the 16th, we have that buy power, which is tomorrow. We should have a buy power, then sell, then we have the 3 days buy. So the people that know me, I like that 3 days. So just in case one day fails, second day fails, the third day won't fail. So we have that 18 right here. That 18 looking good. So the only thing is now we have to look at, let me just change this yeah. So, and Williams. So this is actually a low risk trade. This is perfectly a low risk trade because we have that William pointing up. Then we have the, probabilities giving us that 3-day buy. Then we have the USD giving us a sell around that period. We have the euro also giving us a buy around that period, even though it's for a short while, exit on 21st. Then we have the euro COT giving us a buy, the USD COT giving us a sell, just a little bit. So everything literally looks smooth with this one, actually. I mean, ideally, what I want to see is price come somewhere around here. Just looking at this, I want price coming somewhere around here. But for the guys that are very new, stick to the rules. Stick to the rules. Price has to be above all three. And you have to have an entry and a support region before you go in. Okay. That's just the rules. Price has to be above all three EMAs. Price has to be giving you an entry based on your indicator, and you have to have a support region to then kick off, the buy. So what we're seeing here is most likely price is going to run back down into this region and then try to leave that region. Okay. So when price is about to leave that region, that's when you want to go in. So with Euro USD, for example, so we have Euro USD. We have buy on Wednesday. Well, we can exit on Friday. I'm not really running the full analysis, but you can buy on Wednesday, exit on Friday on Euro USD, and which is the safest time. The risk is currently low. If the Williams change, then the risk is going to be medium. But currently on the daily time frame, the risk is actually low. So because the Williams is giving us that kick, but what could happen is you see this sell right here, it hasn't kicked in yet. So I would like the sell to kick in. Just maybe one candle or two candles would be fine. And since price is in the 20 EMA, most likely price should get a kickback. They could try to pierce it like the way it did right here and hit the 200, but I don't know. That could happen. That could not happen. I don't know. But Wednesday, if price finds itself somewhere around this region on Wednesday, then it will be an ideal spot to go into the market. Okay. So with that Euro USD, we can buy on Wednesday and exit on Friday. So low risk. All right. So that's two trades already. I mean, what we're gonna most likely see is a USD losing strength from Wednesday again. So that could be one to look out for. Is there any questions in regards to those two trades? I do not want to put too much trades. I don't want to put too much trades right up there. I want people to be as focused as possible, so that way you can maximize the potential of money you're gonna make. Jumping from too many trades at the same time isn't that healthy because your attention will be split into so many different things. So the best thing is if you have your attention on just two assets, for this week, that would be beautiful. And those two assets panned out. Just like last week, we had on the gold and the NZD USD. The NZD USD, we had a 40 pips profit, and the gold, we've had over 500 pips profit. So that's about 540 pips in 1 week, which is beautiful. This week coming, we might have something similar. I mean, your USD have a fair enough size, pips that it could give. So even if we get this on there and the price end up going back up here, maybe we'll have 121 pips, and if gold gives us what we hope for, which is a price going back up from that region and kicking up fast, and we have that maybe 300 or maybe 400 pips, whatever we have right there, from here actually. So we could have another 500 pips to collect in this asset. Yeah, I already spoke about NZD USD. I mean, it's not something I want to go back into in regards to trade it. It's already done what it needs to do on that day. But I mean, because of USD is going to drop again on Wednesday. Yeah. So USD is going to drop again on Wednesday. What you're most likely going to see is NZD USD ends up gaining strength also on that Wednesday. But okay, you know what? Let me do a quick run, just one quick run through it. So let's see NZD USD. Let's see what we can find in regards to probability. If I have a good probability, I'll do a full run of it. If not, I'll just let it go because I don't really vibe with it anymore. So yeah, I mean, from what I'm seeing right here, the NZD USD, the probability does not align. You have that down, buy, down, down, So NZD doesn't even look as if it's gonna pick up strength on that day. But I might be wrong. You could pick up strength, I mean, but NZD is losing strength. As you can see, NZD is most likely gonna lose strength around the 18th, right? So if NZD lose strength around the 18th, Euro NZD will be a better thing to trade, which is Euro NZD to be a buy. If I check the COT and we check the NZD, for example, if we see, so NZD doesn't even give me a very good alignment. It's giving me a buy alignment, so that doesn't look good. Yeah, I tend not to look at news. News seem to be noise. In my experience, news is just noise. It affects it in the short term. But what's happening in the long term, the economical drive in the long term is what decides what the market does, and what the big boys are doing is what determines what the market does in the long term. News is kind of like when you have this ocean, and then you drop a very big stone into the middle of the, not even an ocean. Let's say you have a lake and you drop a stone into the middle of it. You're gonna see like a ripple effect, but over time it doesn't really do much. Most news don't really do that much. Like NFP, for example, it doesn't really do that much. It just does it for that day, and then boom, everything goes back to the way it is. So it's just noise. It's just distortion. That's why I tend to stay away from news. I hardly even check news anymore. I practically ignore news trading. But it works for some people. Some people like it. I just don't like the chaos. The chaos is too much, personally, for me. I rather prefer to just be calm and just follow what I can see, the data I can see. So does anyone have any further questions about the two trades, the Euro USD? The NZD is something you want to stay away from, to be quite frank, for now. But with the Euro USD and the gold, does anyone have any further questions about that? We have like 3 minutes left. Okay, let's see. Let's take this. Yeah, the fires, right. I haven't really checked AUD. It's one of the ones that I don't really touch that much. I don't really like touching AUD that much. But the fires can have actually an impact on the economy. It depends, everything is mostly digitalized nowadays anyway. It depends if there are factories being burned down, if they have their production being cut away based on the fire, then yeah, it's most likely something you're gonna see. I mean, looking at the seasonality, you can see that drop anyway. AUD is most likely going to get a drop. And if we see, let's see if the commercials are trying to punish AUD based on what's happening. If they're trying to punish AUD, then AUD might be one. They're not really punishing AUD. They're literally pumping money into it. So I'm guessing their own central bank is pumping money back into their own economy just to keep everything running. And that's down. So AUD is something in the long run, it doesn't really give that full alignment right now. Let me see. Let's see if I can find any AUD pair. So let's see AUD USD. Should we go in? Yeah, so it's going sideways. They're keeping the economy stable in regards to the USD anyway. Let's see. Yeah, the economy seems to be fine. It doesn't really seem to have massive effects so far. So until maybe like a very massive production production chain get disrupted, then yeah. AUD JPY. Yeah, I mean, looking at it right now, AUD JPY doesn't really have that much. No, it doesn't really do that much. I mean, even looking at the Williams, is everything just calm at the moment. It's kind of like consolidation. So AUD are consolidating their economy basically just to make sure that nobody's trying to bite them off. or punish them based on what's happening. So they should be fine. Try to stay focused. If you can stay focused on the Euro USD and the gold, that's beautiful. The person I called the Euro USD, nice call by the way. I wouldn't have checked the Euro USD, but you literally saved me time from doing much analysis. So nice call for the Euro USD. That's beautiful. So that's that one, and then we have to go. We have two assets to look into and to trade. So guys, we literally have 1 more minute left. I might take one question if anybody has one question left, or we can just wrap it up around here. Don't forget, the best thing is to get the tools by yourself to be able to analyze it. Um, I might actually get a discount out for people, so it makes it much easier to analyze them, because it's at one of the most potent time in trading. That you're gonna get good opportunities to make some good money. So if you can get to make some money during this period, you probably can leave off the rest of the year from the money you make around this period. So yeah, that's it, guys. All right. I don't think I can answer this last question. Euro USD, that's your best bet and the gold. All right, guys. Thank you very much for attending today. I would try to reduce price. I'll catch you guys in the chat room, and I'll post a discount code there. All right. Take care of yourself, guys. Have a lovely trading week. All right. See ya.